Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If you are brand new to my channel, yay, you finally found me. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thank you so much for coming back and for sharing your support. I really appreciate that. All you have to do is subscribe or like or comment down below, and it spreads magical YouTube fairy dust all over my channel so more people can find it and it can grow. So thank you again. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Rose. This is a dramatic and humorous Danish film about mental illness that is now available on Amazon Prime and Vudu. The film is rated PG-13. It's an hour and 45 minutes. And the movie review mom grade I'm giving it is an A. I really enjoyed this. First, let me give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked, things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also enjoy if you like this one. All right, so in a nutshell, the story is about two sisters who travel to France on vacation. Inger, one of the sisters, has schizophrenia and struggles each day. The film was directed by Niels Arden Oplev, who also wrote it. Niels is the award-winning filmmaker of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Did you ever see that one? The original, I mean. I know we had an American remake. He said that he used his experiences from his own sister's life, who struggles with mental illness, to illustrate the stigma that exists around mental illness. Already, the film has been nominated for 7 awards, winning 3, including Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress. The two sisters who star in this movie, they were both outstanding. I'll tell you about them in just a minute. First, let me give you some tips for parents. I think kids are going to be bored. This movie isn't entirely appropriate for them. There are some people who smoke marijuana. We see a dead hedgehog on the side of a road. A woman with schizophrenia is featured, and she says and does crazy things. The entire movie has subtitles that must be read, and I think kids are just not going to be interested in that. We see a partial view of a naked woman getting into a bathtub. A woman gets hurt and bloodied. Talk of a woman who sleeps in the nude. She doesn't though. I mean, we don't see her do that. And then there's talk of Princess Diana dying in a car crash in Paris. So some of the themes that the film illustrates very well include schizophrenia and mental illness, of course, family support, sisters, memories, lost love, unconditional love, patience, compassion, agency, and even parenting. Now, the list of things that I liked is really long. I really enjoyed this film, as I said. I had never seen any of the actors before, and I thought that they all did an outstanding job. The leads include Lena Maria Christens, Anders W. Berthelsson, and Soren Malling. Luca Reichardt Ben Coker is a young actor who is such a natural and also did a fantastic job. Now, Sophie Grabel, and I'm probably pronouncing her name incorrectly, and I apologize. She plays Inger. She completely disappears in this role as Inger and becomes Inger in an absolutely fantastic performance. And again, she's already been nominated and won Best Actress. Really great. I'm hoping she's going to be able to do some crossover work in America. But in the movie, we hear her speak Danish and French beautifully. And I imagine she probably speaks English too. And hopefully is headed to Hollywood because she was that good. We get to go to Paris, Versailles, and Normandy in the film. I love to travel in movies. And in fact, I just was at Paris, Versailles, and Normandy last August with my twin sister, her husband, and my husband. We had been learning French on Duolingo all year to get ready for that trip. And while I'm definitely not fluent, I was able to pick up a few things in this movie when French is spoken. Not everything, of course. The time period is set shortly after Princess Lady Diana died in Paris in real life. Some of the characters visit the tunnel in Paris where she died in a car, and then they also stand on the sidewalk nearby where people have left flowers and pictures and memorials and that kind of thing for her. So that was a touching moment. Now, that wasn't just to have a random setting, but it actually plays into a very important part of the story and the title of this movie. A little over an hour into the story, we learn the meaning behind the title of the film, and it's a great name for this movie. The people who are traveling on a bus are from Denmark. One of my sons is actually dating a girl from Denmark. We adore her and her family, and I always get a kick out of listening to them speak Danish when they're all together. We got to spend last Christmas Eve with them. They live in California, and we were going out there to visit our son. And what they do in Denmark at Christmas Eve is they hold hands and they sing songs, Christmas carols, and dance around the Christmas tree. And we got to do that. And every year we kind of have this running joke that Christmas is December 25th, but in Denmark, it is actually December 24th. And so it was such an honor to be able to spend time with them. And my son's girlfriend's mother is such a fantastic European cook, and we get to eat amazing, delicious Danish food when we're there. So I loved being able to spend some time with these Danes. The characters are well defined, and we see a wide span of emotions and reactions to Inger's mental illness. We see the effect that such an illness has on not only the individual, but also on the entire family. And that really was the point that the director wanted to make in this film. While the movie isn't a comedy by any stretch of the imagination, there are a lot of funny moments and conversations that are situational and that will just make you sometimes laugh out loud and sometimes just kind of laugh on the inside as well, because you feel maybe a little guilty laughing on the outside because it's about mental illness. Road trip movies ultimately should take you to interesting locations, but more importantly, they should show characters who experience new growth and insights because of the journey. Now, this film does very well with both of those tasks, and it's going to stay with you for a long time. When I write movies, I list the things I didn't like, and I really couldn't think of anything. Only then I wondered if Hollywood is going to try to do a remake of this movie so that it's English speaking, so that more people can hear and see this story. I don't know, but I love this Danish version. So I also take notes of funny lines and interesting lines, and you can see all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So one of the funny lines is when this boy is talking to Inger, he really takes a liking to her, and she teaches him some French phrases, such as "I'm 12 years old." But then during this trip, he actually has a birthday and turns 13. And so Inger is so excited for him. So she gives him a big bill of currency. Now, I don't know what the currency equivalency is, but the boy's expression makes you believe that, wow, that was a lot of money. And he says, "Wow, are you crazy?" And she smiles and says, "Yes." So that kind of humor in the movie. She's very aware that she has schizophrenia, and she announces it to everybody. And it's sweet, and it's also heartbreaking at the same time. And then a couple of interesting lines worth noting are when Inger's seeing how people are reacting to her, and she says, "I'm not contagious." And again, I love that self-awareness. There are moments where she's lost completely to herself, and she even tells somebody, "I don't know who I am or what I am supposed to be." And that's truly heartbreaking. But most of the time, she seems to be very aware. And then another thing that's very sweet is a couple of times she's feeling very close to someone, and she says, "I feel like strangling you." Now, most people would react and go, "Ah," but the two people that she says it to understand that maybe the word strangle is mixed in her brain to me, and "I want to hug you," or "I feel close to you." And so she says this once to a certain man, and he just kind of smiles knowingly. And then another time she says it to her sister, and her sister says, "You are very dear to me too." that she understands that the language isn't matching the true emotion that she's feeling. Anyway, very, very sweet. Now, while I was watching this movie, I instantly thought of 3 movies that I wanted to tell you about. Maybe you've seen them, but you might not have. One is an older one of Angelina Jolie's big breakout movies back when she was younger, and it's called Girl Interrupted. It's about mental illness, and it takes part a lot in a mental hospital. And when we think of mental hospitals, that's what we think of as how it's represented in that movie. In this movie, Inger lives in a facility, but it doesn't look like a hospital. It looks maybe like a senior assisted living home kind of a place. Another great movie is A Beautiful Mind, where someone falls into mental illness because of genetics or circumstances. It can be brought on by or triggered by things, which is also the case in this movie called Rose. And then the last movie is called Little Miss Sunshine. And actually, all of those got a lot of Oscar attention back when they came out. So definitely check those out. Hopefully, you'll enjoy this movie as much as I did. And when you get a minute, run over to Instagram. You can follow me as Movie Review Mom, but you can also find me as Trina Boice, where you can learn about my books when I offer them for free on Amazon. Almost every weekend, I have something that's for free, and my online courses and some of my other shenanigans. Anyway, have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.